Hey, this is Joe Crump. In this video, I'm going to show you how to look like you know a neighborhood and a home intimately, even though you've never even been to the city where it's located. One of the things we wanted to try to do with this system is be able to work remotely in many different places. One of the things we found over the years is that if you learn how to talk to sellers properly and get good at it, you never have to ever see them. You never have to go to the property. You never have to show up. You can do everything remotely. You can have some boots on the ground that help you. You can have administration people that help you, and you can talk to them from remote locations. So if I want to, I can set up a phone number that is in the particular city that I'm working in. So let's say I'm in Indiana with a 317 area code, and I'm calling into California with a 310 area code. I can buy a phone number with a 310 area code and call from that number. I can have all my marketing and the auto marketer send out the text blast and the voice blast directly from that phone number. Then when people call me back, let's say a lead came in, I can go in here and I can add a property. Let's go into one that doesn't have a property yet. I'll go into here and I'll add a property, and I'll call this test for now. And it'll open up a lead sheet. And the lead sheet allows me to enter the address. So let's just pick a address that I know well because I grew up in this house. And I just have to put in the street address and the zip code and click to verify, and it goes into a database and looks for that property. And I can apply these changes so it shows up here. So now this shows up here as well. And it also finds it on the Google map. Now, I can also click on Google Maps now that I've found the property, and it'll pull up Google Maps. And I can look at the property, and I can either look at it on the map where it's at, and it'll help me see where it's at in the city, or I can click on it here, and I can look up and down the street where it's at. And that's a wonderful thing. Everybody's worked on Google Maps before. It'll also allow me to look it up on Zillow. So now that I've got it on Zillow, I can find out more details about it. Bedrooms, baths. I can find out what Zillow thinks it might be worth, what Zillow thinks it might rent for, all the information about the property, when it was built, all these details, lots of other things about it as well. Zillow's a great resource for this stuff. Also gives you tax information, tax history on the property. And it shows you a plat map of where it's at. So I can see in the city where it shows up, and where I can get down to a closer satellite view. So now when I'm talking to these people about the property, I'll have these details. I can also pull up a Rentometer, and I can look at the rents on that as well. Now, as I go through and ask these questions, that also will give me a better understanding of what they have for sale. And once I understand what they have for sale, and if I understand the zero down structures that I teach, then I can pull up this selling options. And these are the options that you can do with this property. They can continue to sell it for sale by owner. And if you click on this button, it opens up the pros and cons of doing for sale by owner and an analysis of it. This isn't just trying to sell them on the idea of doing it your way. It's also giving them information about the other ways they can do it. And if you understand the different ways they can do it, they're going to pick the one that makes the most sense for them. You want to work as a consultant. You want to help them make the right decision. And most of the time, the decision that they make that's going to be the right decision is going to be the one that's working with you. You can also list the property with an agent, and all these things have explanations on why they might be good or why they might not be good, and the different structures that we use. And this stuff is right at your fingertips, so you can just read this stuff to them as you go through the process. Learning how to speak to these sellers is one of the most important things that you can do. And being able to look competent is the only way that they're going to work with you. And having these details at your fingertips is going to make all the difference. The other thing that's going to show you as more credible is that you have information on their property. And we keep this information on their property that we scraped from Craigslist. We can also look at the ad on Craigslist. Sometimes the ad will be there, sometimes it won't. The older the lead is, the less likely it'll still be on Craigslist. This is a newer lead, so it's still up here. So that's it. And that's the secret of how we're able to do this stuff remotely in any area that we want. I could go live on the beach on Fiji. As long as I have an internet connection, I can do these deals, remotely. And I can always call directly from through the internet. And it only costs me for my phone minutes to do that, which is very cheap, especially if you're overseas. We've had people that have worked for us in Jamaica and the Philippines, all over the world that have worked for us and been able to use these phone numbers to call into our leads and call into our buyers and communicate with each other on the team.